Hey board gamers, BJ from Game Gumbo here, back with another unboxing. We've been kind of on a kick of getting in some games from the Iberian Peninsula, and here's another one. This one's from Rigo Games, and it's called Trasteros Locos. It's designed by Juan Rigo. The art is uncredited, but it's from Rigo Games, and it seems to be kind of a game about maybe Storage Wars, the card game, or Storage Wars, the board game. That's the impression I'm getting. We haven't played it yet, but let's take a look inside the box. All right, here's the box for Trasteros Locos Crazy Auctions. Designed by Rigo Games. It's for 3 to 6 players. Takes about 30 to 45 minutes. And this is the back of the box. If you're wondering, this one came to us all the way from Spain. The rules are in English and in Spanish, and it's the game of amazing collections. All right, first up, we got the rule book. Like I said, it's in English and in Spanish. The Spanish rules are at the start of the book. It's on page 7 that it starts with the English rules. It's got a list of the contents. I'd like to have pictures of everything, but at least it has a good listing. Tells you what the exchange rates whenever you're changing in the 4 different types of cubes. Nice quick game setup. Turn structure. All the different actions. This is one of these auction games. I mean, let's face it, this is like Storage Wars, the board game, at least from what I can tell. I haven't played it yet. And of course, the winner's record. Oh, that's kind of cool. So this is sort of like box topping, but on the back. We've seen that in other games. Now we're inside the box. Cool little insert here. Seems to hold everything, including the little discs, which fit perfectly. Starting at the top, we've got the different cubes. We've got glass, gold, of course, silver, and bronze. And of course, this is, pretty sure this is the first player marker. You know, it's going to be expected that in the economy of the game, gold is going to be worth the most value. It's always going to be higher than anything else. And of course, silver will be next. Bronze will be higher than glass, of course, and glass is the least valuable of the different commodities. And I did check, this is the turn marker, not the first player marker, turn marker. All right, back inside the box. I've got these discs. I've looked through the rules, and I'm not exactly sure what these are for. Anybody knows out there? I guess we'll find out once we play them. They're in all 4 of the different colors. Maybe it's where you put the cubes on. I'll find out when we play them. Put that aside. But these are the player screens. So you're going to be bidding using these cubes to buy the contents of 5 different storage units, if I read the rules correctly. And it's got even one extra public one. So up to 6 people can play, and each one of you are going to have one of these little player screens. All right, so these are the different player screens. And that's what you'll use to hide your monies behind there. Each player will have one of those. There's 6 different in the box. Easier to go inside. And then of course we got the cards, and there's a bunch of different cards. So there's over 100 cards in the box. It's going to include the junk cards. It's going to include the collection cards, and then some of the other cards. Let's get those cracked open. Now we get to the game. Each player is going to be competing against the other players to try to score as many points as possible by buying all these different auctions. At the start of the game, they're going to get one of these collectors. It's going to be secret though, so your role is going to be secret. You might be a clock collector, or maybe an antique collector, or maybe one of the art collectors. There's that clock collector, Susan, I mentioned. And you'll keep that secret till the end of the game. That way you can get bonus points for collecting the ones that match your character. Next up, I'm going to set out the 5 different auctions, plus the public auction. Behind those, secretly, we're going to deal out some of these cards here. And you can see that they all have different values. They're all parts of the collections, but some of them are going to be worth more than others. So we have those golds, some will have the silvers, some will have the glass, and unfortunately, some of them are going to be junk. You don't want to collect those. The trick in this game is that we won't know what's behind those storage facilities. There's going to be 6 cards that are placed in those storage facilities, and we just won't know what exactly is in there until we start bidding. Cards will be like that with 6 different types behind there. The game does come with a cheat sheet that shows all the things you can do. And on your turn, a player can take 1 action. And on that action, it's going to be things like calling for a bid, flipping over, one of the things in the storage, and starting the bids using the different cubes that we have in our hand. We're going to bid privately with the stuff inside our hand, reveal them, and the person who wins the bid gets the chance to buy something from that storage facility for the price. So let's say price or better, of course. So if this is glass here, as long as I have a glass after I win the bid, I can buy this as long as I spend at least a blue. The other thing you can do is, what if I need more cubes? I can always exchange those. And of course, it gives you a handy dandy exchange there. You can trade those. Those junk cards aren't worth much. It takes 2 junk cards just to get 1 glass cube. But as you can see, you can trade these in and go all the way up to getting gold cubes, or spending some gold cards to get those collector badge cards, which are worth points at the end of the game. Last but not least, players can also open up the public one. This is not going to be one for bid, so it's closed, but you just open it up and see what's inside. And once that storage door is removed, everybody is going to get the top card from whatever is inside that deck. Of course, whoever's turn it is, the person who made the call, they'll get the first choice, and everybody will go around. And then once everybody takes a card, the turn will be over. Players can also exchange cards. They can protect cards if they want to. If they don't want anybody else to try to take one, they can remove that card protection, and then they can call for the end of the game. One way the game ends, of course, if we're not out of cards, but let's say that someone thinks that they've got enough behind their screen to be the winner, they can call for collection. And by saying that, that announces the end of the game. And at that point, everyone else will get 1 more turn to see if they can stack up something. So it's kind of dangerous calling for that collection, but if you want to end the game, that's one way of doing it. Sort of reminds me of that mechanic that you see in Silver. For them to get to call that collection, though, they got to have a collection hand. They must have at least 5 cards of their collection type. For instance, the rules say 5 art cards of any value, that makes a collection, and then you can call for the end of the game. All right, the collection's been called, or we ran out of cards. It's the end of the game. Players are going to flip over, make that dramatic reveal of who they are. In this case, I was Lydia. We'll start flipping over the cards we won, and the player with the most points is going to win the game. How do they get points? They're only valid if they match that collection. So I've got a bunch of art cards here, scoring a lot of points for Lydia. Cards from other collections and protected piles will be deducted from that player's score. When a player calls for the end of the game, that player will be the first to count their points, and then the rest of the players are all going to count their points at the end. There's some tiebreakers that are mentioned in the rules. This is not a solo game, so it's 3 to 6 players. Whoever scores the most points is declared the winner and gets to take a little selfie with this Crazy Auctions winner's card. Hey, so that's Trasteros Locos, or Crazy Auctions. Want to thank Rigo Games for sending us a copy. We're going to be playing it hopefully pretty soon. It's a bidding and auction game. Give us some comments below. Let us know if you like those type of games, or if you've ever heard of or played any of Rigo Games. Are there any other games we should check out? And until next time, laissez le bon temps rouler.